If you're researching elopement weddings, you'll probably notice that not everyone does the same thing, and pricing can be all over the place. Today, I want to clear up something that causes a lot of confusion for couples: the difference between planning a luxury elopement and actually designing one. I'm Rochelle Cheever, founder of the Elopement Experience and author of 3 books on elopements. And I've been designing and planning destination elopements for over 15 years. I've watched the space evolve, and I've watched the word luxury get attached to things that genuinely aren't. So let's talk about what actually separates the two. First, planning, because planning is real. It matters and it takes skill. A good planner handles the logistics, the permits, the timeline, and the vendor coordination, the contracts, making sure everything runs smoothly on the day. That is genuinely valuable. But here's what planning doesn't do. It doesn't make your elopement beautiful or meaningful. It doesn't make it cohesive. It doesn't make every element feel like it belongs together. That's where design comes in, and they are not the same thing. Design is the visual language of your elopement wedding. It's the relationship between the florals, the gown, and the way colors in your landscape echo the landscape behind you, the destination. It's knowing the light in Tuscany in late afternoon calls for a completely different pause than the coastline of California at midday or the afternoon. These aren't things you figure out with a checklist. They come from a trained eye. I have a background in fine arts, a BFA from the Corcoran School of Arts in Washington, D.C., and graduate studies from the Academy of Florence. I'm also a painter, and the way I approach a luxury elopement is generally the same way I would approach a painting. The destination is the canvas. Everything, the attire, the florals, the decor, the ceremony setting, the tablescape, every element is chosen in relationship to that canvas and to the couple standing in it. That's not a metaphor I use lightly. It's literally how I work, how I see spaces, settings, and interpret the world around me. Now, I say this as a photographer myself, someone who shoots analog and has a trained team of photographers I work with. There is a trend right now where photographers who shoot elopements describe what they do as designing experiences. And I want to be clear about what I mean when I use the word design, because it is not the same thing. Designing an experience is the logistics you create throughout the day. That's fine, and it has its place. But what I'm talking about is visual design, color theory, harmony, composition, the cohesion between every aesthetic element, from what you wear, to the moment you arrive, to the moment you sit down to dinner. That requires a different kind of training and a different kind of eye. And it's a full-time job on its own. That is exactly why I have a trained and dedicated photography team. You can't do both fully and well at the same time. When a luxury elopement is fully designed, you feel it, even if you can't name it. Nothing feels random. Nothing feels like it was pulled from the Pinterest board or thrown together. It feels like everything belongs. Everything connects between the day that was planned and the day that was professionally designed. So if you're researching luxury elopements, look at the vendor's body of work, especially details. Do they connect, or does it look like it's all over the place? Is it just about the couple posing for Instagram photos or iconic backdrops? Does the ceremony tie in with the landscape, the bouquet, and the attire? Look carefully and see if they just plan elopements or do they professionally design them, because there is a real difference. I have another video that breaks down the differences between standard, adventure, and luxury elopements. It's a great starting point if you're still figuring out what kind of experience you're looking for. And when you'd like to inquire for a luxury elopement experience, head on over to Elopement Experience, and I'd love to hear what you're envisioning. Thank you for watching. Ciao, ciao.